I used to believe my life was perfect. We're really doing this, I told Emily one night, holding her hand. 3 weeks and we're married. She laughed and leaned into me. I know. It still feels unreal, she said. I trusted that smile. Nothing could ever come between us, I once told her, and she promised the same. I trusted her more than anything. We had been together for 5 years, survived fights, money stress, and family drama. I believed we were unbreakable. Every morning started with wedding plans. Did you call the florist? Emily asked on the phone. Yes, I said. Roses just like you wanted. She smiled through the screen. You always remember. I felt proud hearing that. I felt chosen. This wedding is going to be perfect, she said. Because it's us. I laughed. Nothing can mess this up. When Emily told me about the beach trip, I didn't hesitate. Go, I said. You deserve a break. She laughed. You're really okay with it? I nodded. I trust you. She kissed my cheek. I'll miss you. I watched her pack and thought about our honeymoon. I imagined her walking down the aisle, imagined our life. Don't forget sunscreen, I joked. I won't, she said. You worry too much. The first day she was gone, she called nonstop. The water is beautiful, she said. I wish you were here. I smiled. Save that for me, I replied. I promise, she said. The second day the calls slowed. We're heading out, she texted. Talk later. I didn't think much of it. Have fun, I replied. She sent a thumbs up. By the third day, I noticed the silence. I stared at my phone. Everything okay? I typed. Hours passed. No reply. When she finally answered, it was short. Busy. Talk tomorrow. I frowned but shook it off. I'm being stupid, I muttered to myself. She's just enjoying herself. That night, I scrolled through social media. I stopped when I saw her photo. She was smiling, holding a drink, ocean behind her. Jason was tagged. I felt a small sting. Who's Jason? I whispered. I remembered her mentioning him once. Just a friend, she had said. I told myself to calm down. You trust her, I said out loud. I called her. It rang and rang. Voicemail. Hey, I said, forcing a laugh. Just checking in. I hung up and tried to sleep. My chest felt tight, but I blamed stress. You're overthinking, I told myself. Don't ruin something good. The next morning, Mark called. You okay? He asked. You sound tired. I laughed. Wedding nerves. He paused. Emily having fun? Yeah, I said quickly. She deserves it. Saying it out loud made it feel true. You're lucky, Mark said. Don't forget that. After the call, I sat alone and replayed Mark's words. You're lucky, he had said. I smiled at the ceiling. I know, I whispered. I imagined Emily laughing on the beach, free and happy. She loves you, I told myself. She always has. I opened our old messages and reread them. Forever, she had written once. Always, I had replied. Later that day, I texted her again. Miss you. She replied an hour later. Miss you too. No heart. No nickname. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Stop, I whispered. Don't ruin this. I placed my phone face down and focused on work. That evening, I talked to myself more than I should have. You're fine, I said. This is just distance. I looked at the ring box on the table. Soon, I whispered, everything will make sense. I even smiled, convinced love meant patience. That evening, as I was reviewing seating charts, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. Then it buzzed again. A message appeared. You should know what your fiancé did at the beach. My hands started shaking. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. This is nothing, I said, trying to breathe. I stared at the words, my mind screaming for me not to open whatever came next, already knowing my life was about to split into before and after. I wasn't ready for the truth at all. My hands were shaking as I stared at the message. You should know what your fiancé did at the beach. I whispered, this is a joke. I clicked the file before I could stop myself. The video loaded slowly. Please don't, I said to the screen. Then I saw her. Emily, laughing. Her hair loose. The ocean behind her. My chest tightened. That's not what it looks like, I muttered. Then the camera moved. She was sitting close to a man. Too close. He touched her arm. She didn't pull away. Stop, I said. My voice cracked. The ring was on her finger. The ring I gave her. Emily, I whispered like she could hear me. She leaned in. He kissed her cheek. She laughed again. No, I said louder. No, no, no. Then she kissed him back. I dropped the phone. This isn't real, I said, pacing the room. This is fake. I picked it up again. The video kept playing. His hand was on her waist. Her hand was on his chest. I felt sick. You promised me, I said to the empty room. My head replayed her voice. I would never cheat on you, she had said once. I love you, she had said 1,000 times. I pressed my palm to my mouth. So this is love? I hit pause. My reflection stared back at me from the dark screen. You're seeing it wrong, I told myself. There has to be an explanation. I unpaused it. The man whispered something. Emily smiled like she used to smile at me. That's my smile, I said. My stomach twisted. The video ended. I stood there in silence, breathing like I'd run miles. I called her. It rang once, twice. She answered. Hey, she said. Her voice was bright. Emily, I said. Where are you? She hesitated. We're just heading back to the hotel. I swallowed. Who are you with? Another pause. Friends, she said. Why? I laughed, but it sounded broken. I just watched a video of you kissing another man. Silence. Then, what? She said. That's crazy. I closed my eyes. Don't lie, I said. I saw it. She sighed. It's not what it looks like. My hands clenched. You were kissing him, I said. What else could it be? She rushed her words. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. I felt something snap inside me. You were wearing my ring, I said quietly. She started crying. I'm sorry, she said. Please listen. I interrupted her. Who is he? She whispered, Jason. My heart dropped. Jason. I repeated. You're just a friend, Jason? She cried harder. I didn't plan this. I laughed again. Funny how cheating never gets planned. She begged, please don't do this over the phone. I remembered her words from years ago. If you ever cheat on me, I'll leave, I had said. She had smiled and replied, I would never hurt you like that. I said that out loud now. You promised me. She sobbed. I know. I messed up. I felt dizzy. How long? I asked. She didn't answer. How long, Emily? She whispered, since the second night. I leaned against the wall. So every call, I said, every, I miss you, you were lying? She tried to explain. I was confused. I shook my head even though she couldn't see me. You weren't confused, I said. You chose him. She cried my name. Please, she said. I love you. My voice came out flat. You don't do this to someone you love. I ended the call. My phone buzzed again. A message from the same number. Another photo. Emily and Jason holding hands. I stared at his face. I knew him now. Confident. Smiling. Careless. So this is Jason, I said. I sat on the floor, my back against the couch. Just a friend, I repeated, laughing through tears. My chest hurt. My future shattered. And in that moment, watching the proof burn into my mind, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. I woke up knowing I couldn't pretend anymore. I stared at the ceiling and said, it's over, even though my voice shook. My phone buzzed nonstop. I ignored Emily's name and called my mother instead. Mom, I said, the wedding is off. She went quiet. What happened? She asked softly. I swallowed. She cheated. Linda gasped. Oh my God, she whispered. Are you sure? I closed my eyes. I saw it. She didn't push me. Come home, she said. You don't have to be alone. When I arrived, she hugged me tight. I'm so sorry, she said. I laughed bitterly. So am I. She pulled back and looked at my face. You look broken. I nodded. I feel worse. She asked, what are you going to do? I said, I can't marry her. Linda sighed. I support you, she said. Even if it hurts. Her words kept me standing. Mark showed up later. Tell me it's not true, he said. I shook my head. It's true. He slammed his fist on the table. I knew something was off. I snapped, don't say that now. He raised his hands. I'm on your side. I looked away. I don't know who I am anymore. Mark leaned in. You're the guy who won't accept being betrayed. His anger felt louder than my pain. The call started that afternoon. Is the wedding canceled? An aunt asked. I said, yes. Why? Another voice whispered. I kept repeating, it didn't work out. I could hear judgment in the pauses. I felt exposed. I told myself, you did nothing wrong, but shame still burned. Every question felt like a cut. Emily came home that evening. I heard the door open. "Please," she said from the hallway, "talk to me." I stood still. She walked in slowly. Her eyes were red. "I made a mistake," she said. I laughed softly. "You made a choice." She reached for me. "Don't," I warned. She stopped. "I was lonely," she said. "You were busy." I stared at her. "So you slept with someone else?" She cried harder. "I was drunk," she said. "It didn't mean anything." I shook my head. "You kissed him," I said. "You lied to me." She tried again. "It was just the beach, the mood." I snapped. "Our wedding was 3 weeks away." She whispered, "I hate myself." I asked, "Did you think about me?" She didn't answer. I felt torn in half. Part of me wanted to hold her. Another part wanted to disappear. "I loved you," I said. She replied, "I love you too." I looked at her and felt nothing but ache. "Love doesn't do this," I said. She dropped to her knees. "Please," she begged. "We can fix this." My chest tightened. "I will never forget that video." She reached for my hand. I pulled back. "Stop," I said. "You broke something I can't repair." She sobbed, "I'll do anything." I took a deep breath. "You already did." The room felt heavy. I noticed the ring on her finger. It caught the light. My ring. My promise. I stepped closer. "Give it to me," I said. She shook her head. "Please don't." My voice stayed calm. "Give it to me." Her hand trembled as she slid it off. She placed it in my palm. I felt its weight sink into me. "This was our future," she said. I closed my fingers around it. "Not anymore." Mark waited outside. He looked at me and nodded. Linda watched from the doorway, tears in her eyes. I walked past Emily without looking back. As I stepped out, I realized something was gone forever. The man who believed in forever didn't exist anymore. I didn't know who I was becoming, only that I could never be who I was before again. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why wasn't I enough?" The apartment felt hollow. "You're alone now," I told myself. My phone lit up at 2 a.m. Mark said, "You awake?" I replied, "I don't think I'll ever sleep again." He said, "Talk to me." I laughed softly. "About what?" "The wedding that died." He answered, "About you." Days blurred. I sat on the couch and replayed memories. "She loved you," I argued. "She lied," another voice said. I walked into the bedroom and froze. "This was ours," I said. Silence answered. At night I called Mark again. "Am I stupid?" I asked. He said, "No. You trusted." I snapped, "That feels worse." He replied, "It hurts because it mattered." I stopped eating. I stopped shaving. I talked to the walls. "You should have seen it coming," I said. "No," I answered myself. "You believed her." Mark warned, "Don't drown in this." I whispered, "I already am." He paused, then grabbed something solid. I said, "I don't know how." One afternoon I ran into Sarah at the grocery store. She froze. "I'm sorry," she said. I asked, "For what?" She swallowed. "For not telling you sooner." My chest tightened. "Telling me what?" She looked away. "It wasn't one night." I felt dizzy. "What do you mean?" She said, "It was the whole trip." I laughed, sharp and broken. "All of it?" She nodded. "Every night." I leaned on the cart. "Say it again," I said. She repeated, "The whole trip." My hand shook. "She called me every day," I said. Sarah whispered, "I know." I asked, "Did everyone know?" She said, "Some of us." Anger rose. "And nobody told me?" She said, "I wanted to." I snapped, "Wanting didn't save me." I walked outside. "I can't breathe," I said. Sarah followed. "You didn't deserve this," she said. I replied, "Deserve doesn't matter." She added, "Jason bragged." My jaw tightened. "About what?" She said, "About taking her from you." I laughed again. "He didn't take her. She went." Sarah nodded. "You're right." That night I called Mark. "It was the whole trip," I said. He cursed. "I want to break something," I admitted. He said, "You won't." I asked, "Why not?" He answered, "Because rage won't heal you." I paced. "Then what will?" He said, "Choosing yourself." I scoffed. "That sounds fake." He replied, "It's not." I stared at my reflection in the dark window. "Do you hate me?" I asked. No answer came. I remembered Emily saying, "You're my safe place." I laughed. "Safe places don't burn," I said. I opened old messages and read them aloud. "Forever," she wrote. I replied, "Always." Saying it now felt like choking. I called Mark again. "Tell me I'll survive this," I said. He answered, "You will, but it will change you." I whispered, "I'm scared." He said, "Good. Fear means you care." I asked, "What if I never trust again?" He replied, "Then you learn slowly." I sat still and listened to my breathing. "I feel small," I admitted. He said, "Then grow." I hung up and sat alone. "I gave her everything," I said. The room echoed back nothing. "I wasn't perfect," I admitted, "but I was real." I felt anger settle into something colder. "I won't beg," I said. "I won't chase." My phone buzzed with Emily's name. I turned it face down. "Not tonight," I told myself. The silence felt heavy, but it also felt clean. I stayed there, counting breaths, waiting for the shaking to stop. "Tomorrow," I whispered, "I will choose differently." I repeated it until it sounded real. I didn't feel strong yet, but I felt awake, and that felt like the first step back toward myself. I stayed still, breathing, listening, letting the night pass without running from pain tonight. I looked around the empty room. "This is rock bottom," I said. My voice answered back, steady this time. "Then listen." I realized something clear and sharp. I didn't want to destroy her. I wanted to rebuild me. I closed the box and stood. "I choose control," I said. For the first time since the video, I believed it. I woke up early and said, "No more." My voice sounded strange but steady. I looked at my phone and saw Emily's missed calls. "I'm not doing this," I said. I didn't block her. I just didn't answer. That felt harder and stronger. I got dressed and told myself, "Move forward even if it hurts." The mirror showed tired eyes. "You're still here," I said. "That counts." At work, David called me into his office. "Sit down," he said. I expected sympathy. Instead, he asked, "Are you focused?" I nodded. He leaned back. "Good. I need someone reliable." I hesitated. "I've had a rough week." He replied, "Everyone does. Leaders show up anyway." I swallowed. "What do you need from me?" He smiled slightly. "More than you think you can give." Emily texted me during lunch. "Can we talk?" I stared at the screen. "There's nothing to say," I typed, then deleted it. I left it unanswered. Mark called. "You okay?" he asked. I said, "I'm trying something new." He laughed. "What's that?" I replied, "Not begging for closure." He paused. "I like this version of you." I smiled for real. David walked by my desk later. "I'm offering you a promotion," he said quietly. I blinked. "Now?" He nodded. "I've been watching you." I laughed nervously. "I'm not sure I'm ready." He said, "You're ready enough." I felt fear rise. "What if I fail?" He answered, "Then you learn." I nodded slowly. "I'll do it." Saying yes felt like choosing myself. That night I went to the gym. I told myself, just show up. My body hurt, but my mind quieted. I lifted weights and counted reps. "One more," I said. Each one felt like proof. Afterward, I sat in my car and breathed. "You didn't fall apart today," I said. That felt like a win. Emily called again. I let it ring. Then she texted, "Please?" I typed, "I need space." My hands shook, but I sent it. She replied instantly, "You're shutting me out." I wrote, "I'm protecting myself." No response came. I put the phone down and didn't reach for it again. The next morning, David asked, "How do you feel?" I answered honestly, "Terrified." He nodded. "Good. Fear means growth." He handed me new responsibilities. "Lead this project." I asked, "Why me?" He said, "Because you listen." That word stayed with me all day. Emily showed up at my place that evening. I opened the door and said, "This isn't a good idea." She said, "You won't even look at me." I replied, "I see you clearly now." She stepped closer. "I made a mistake." I shook my head. "You made many." She whispered, "I miss you." I said, "Missing me doesn't give you access to me." Her eyes filled with tears. She tried again. "You're changing." I nodded. "I have to." She said, "You're being cold." I answered, "I'm being careful." She reached for my hand. I stepped back. "Please leave," I said. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. "You used to fight for us," she said. I replied, "Now I fight for me." After she left, I sat alone and didn't feel empty. I felt quiet. I made a list. Work, health, sleep. I taped it to the wall. Discipline, I said. Not motivation. Each day I followed it. Some days were hard. Some were easier. None were wasted. Mark noticed. You're different, he said over coffee. I shrugged. I'm healing. He smiled. Proud of you. That word hit deep. I said, I'm learning to respect myself. He raised his cup. About time. Emily sent one last message. I don't recognize you anymore. I typed back, neither do I. I didn't feel cruel. I felt honest. I put the phone down and went to sleep without checking it again. At work, David said, You're doing well. I replied, I'm trying. He nodded. Keep going. I walked out into the evening air and felt taller. Emily wanted access to the man who loved her blindly. That man was gone. I wasn't chasing pain anymore. I was choosing power, one quiet decision at a time, and she could finally feel the distance growing where control once lived. I heard about Emily before I saw her. Rachel called me one afternoon and said, I thought you should know. I asked, know what? She hesitated. Jason left her. I didn't react. Rachel continued, he said he didn't want drama. I let out a slow breath. That figures. Rachel added, people are pulling away from her. I asked, why are you telling me this? She replied, because you deserve the truth. Later Mark said, you look calm. I shrugged. I am. He raised an eyebrow. You don't care? I said, I care less. He laughed. That's growth. I didn't celebrate. I just listened. Rachel texted again. She's struggling, she wrote. I typed back, I hope she finds help. That was it. No more words. I ran into Emily a week later outside a cafe. She froze. Can we talk? She asked. I said, for a minute. She looked tired. Jason blocked me, she said. I nodded. I'm not surprised. She whispered, I lost friends. I replied, actions have echoes. She flinched. I deserve that, she said. I didn't argue. She tried to explain. I made the worst mistake of my life. I said, you made many choices. She wiped her eyes. I regret everything. I looked at her and felt something distant. Regret comes late, I said. She asked, do you hate me? I answered honestly. No. I just don't trust you. Her shoulders shook. Mark called that night. You okay? He asked. I said, she's unraveling. He replied, and you? I paused. I'm steady. He said, that's the difference. I asked, is it wrong to feel nothing? He answered, it means you're done. I stared at the wall and believed him. Rachel met me for coffee. She cries about you, she said. I replied, crying isn't accountability. Rachel nodded. People see her differently now. I said, reputations don't fall loudly. Rachel looked at me. You're handling this well. I shrugged. I'm not involved. That felt true. Emily called again. I answered. What do you want? I asked. She said, I need to say sorry in person. I sighed. Meet me tomorrow. When she arrived, she broke down immediately. I ruined everything, she sobbed. I waited. She said, I thought I could fix it. I replied, some things don't reset. She grabbed my sleeve. Please, she begged. I stepped back. Don't. She said, I lost him, I lost friends, I lost you. I said quietly, you let go first. She cried harder. I didn't think I'd lose this much. I answered, consequences don't warn you. She looked up. Do you feel powerful watching this? I shook my head. Power isn't loud, I said. It's choosing not to react. She whispered, I would do anything. I replied, that's what you said before. She collapsed into the chair. I miss us. I said, us doesn't exist. Mark texted me while I was there. Remember, he wrote, walking away is revenge. I looked at Emily. I forgive you, I said. Her eyes widened. Really? I added, but forgiveness doesn't mean access. Her face fell. So this is it? I nodded. This is it. She stood and whispered, I lost something real. I replied, yes. She asked, do you ever think about coming back? I said, no, that word felt final. She cried quietly. I waited, then said, take care of yourself. She didn't answer. As I walked away, I felt light. I didn't push karma. I didn't celebrate her pain. I just stepped aside and let truth do its work. Emily's voice cracked behind me. I ruined everything. I didn't turn around. I already knew. Karma didn't rush. It waited. And when it arrived, it didn't need me to deliver it at all. The doorbell rang and my stomach tightened. I knew it was her. I whispered to myself, "This is the last time." I opened the door. Emily's face was pale, her eyes red. "Can we talk?" she asked. I stepped aside. "We can." She entered slowly. "I've been a coward," she said. "I know," I replied quietly. She looked at me trembling. I didn't realize what I had until I lost it. I sat down, keeping my hands visible. "Emily," I said, "you already know why we can't go back." She nodded, tears streaming. "I feel so alone," she admitted. "Even Jason couldn't stay. My friends, some don't call anymore. I thought I could handle it. I was wrong." I watched her, silent. "I hurt you," she whispered. "You did more than that," I said. "You destroyed my trust." She flinched, then covered her face. "I regret everything," she said, voice breaking. "Every lie, every moment I wasn't honest." I took a deep breath. "Regret is useless if it doesn't change the future." She looked up, desperation in her eyes. "So what do I do? How do I fix this?" I shook my head. "You don't. Some things are gone forever." She moved closer. "I'm terrified," she said. "I'm scared I'll never feel safe with anyone again." I replied, "You should be scared. You betrayed someone who loved you completely." Her shoulders sank. "I never meant for it to go this far," she said. "Intentions don't erase actions," I said. "I trusted you with everything." A long silence passed. I watched her struggle to speak. "Do you hate me?" she finally asked. I shook my head slowly. "No. I feel sad. And disappointed. And a quiet anger that's already fading." She whispered, "I want to tell you that I still care." I looked at her and said, "Caring doesn't undo what's broken." Her hands trembled as she reached toward me. I didn't move. "I've changed," she pleaded. "I need you." I leaned back. "I've changed too," I said. "I've learned that some doors once closed cannot reopen." She stared at me wide-eyed. "But," I held up a hand. "No buts. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just finished." She broke down, crying silently. I waited. She sniffled. "Do you ever think about what we had?" she asked. I nodded slightly. "I think about it all the time. And I've learned from it." She wiped her tears. "Can I have the ring back?" I reached into my pocket and pulled it out. "It doesn't belong to you anymore." I held it out. She hesitated, then took it with trembling fingers. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I know," I said softly. "And now it's time we both move forward." Her voice cracked. "I'll never find another love like yours." I looked at her and said, "Perhaps. But you'll find yourself again." She nodded slowly, understanding finally dawning. "Consequences," she said. "They don't always come with yelling. Sometimes, they come with absence." I nodded. "Exactly." She fell silent, finally accepting the truth. I stood, feeling a quiet strength inside me. "I have to go," I said. She nodded, unable to speak. I walked toward the door. She whispered, "Take care of yourself." I paused, then said, "I will. And you eventually will too." I opened the door, stepped out, and didn't look back. The sun hit my face, warm and steady. I felt the weight lift, the silence feel clean. Emily's chapter had ended. My own was just beginning. I stood at the edge of the water, the sand cold beneath my feet. "Feels different," I said aloud, though no one was there. Mark laughed behind me. "Different good or different bad?" I smiled. "Good. Finally good." He nudged me. "Told you you'd get here." I nodded, watching the waves. "I didn't think I could feel peace again." He said, "You just had to stop clinging to what wasn't yours." I let the words settle. Later I called Linda. "Hi, Mom," I said. Her voice was warm. "You sound calm," she said. I laughed softly. "I think I finally am." She asked, "You're okay alone?" I replied, "Better than okay. I'm finding myself." She sighed. "I worried so much for you." I said, "You worried because you love me. I'm grateful." She laughed. "Just don't forget to eat." I smiled. "I haven't." Work had changed me too. David pulled me aside. "I've noticed a difference," he said. "You're more confident." I nodded. "I've realized control isn't about holding others. It's about holding yourself." He smiled. "Exactly." That became my mantra. Every decision, Every day I chose growth, discipline, and honesty. I met new friends, built routines, and pushed myself. Gym mornings, late night projects, quiet evenings reading or walking. Mark called me one night. "How's it feel?" he asked. "To live without the shadow of her?" I said, "Light. Hard at first, but light." He chuckled. "Karma didn't need you. You handled yourself." I nodded. Silence was stronger than yelling. Distance was stronger than anger. Sometimes I thought about Emily, not with longing, just understanding. "I didn't lose her," I whispered one night. "I lost the lie. And that saved me." Mark texted back, laughing emoji. "Deep man." I smiled. I'm learning to enjoy truth. I even forgave myself for trusting. I was naive, I admitted. But loving her taught me how to value honesty. Linda called again. "You sound different," she said. I laughed softly. "I am. I'm calmer, quieter. But not empty." She said, "That's my son." I felt warmth, a soft reminder that love exists in many forms. Months passed. I stood on the beach again, same sand, same waves. I took a deep breath. "I'm okay," I whispered. "I'm really okay." No phone, no messages, no expectations. Just me. I watched the sunlight sparkle on the water and thought about all the choices I'd made, the ones to stay, to leave, to fight, to rebuild. Every step brought me here. A seagull called, wings slicing the wind. "Freedom," I muttered. Mark laughed from a distance. "Poetic, man." I smiled. Maybe. But true. The ocean didn't judge. The waves didn't care about pain, regret, or heartbreak. They just moved, constant and patient. I felt that same patience now inside me. I thought about the past, the ring, the lies, the betrayal. "It shaped me," I said. "Not ruined me." The emptiness I once feared became space to grow. The love I lost became understanding of what I deserved. No more pretending. No more chasing illusions. Just living honestly, one quiet choice at a time. Mark clapped me on the back. "To a life worth living." I nodded. "To a life I didn't lose." I watched the waves, felt the wind, and knew it was true. I wasn't broken. I was awake. I wasn't tied to anyone's betrayal. I was free. And as I stood there alone, I realized I didn't lose my fiancée. I lost the lie. And losing her deceit, had saved my life.